From the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln, this is Nebraska Farmcast. I'm Ryan Evans. Cooperative businesses are playing an increasingly large role in fostering economic growth, community bonds, and in preserving local character in communities across Nebraska. From grocery stores to home care, the cooperative model is offering innovative solutions to communities across the state. Many of these organizations work with the University of Nebraska-Lincoln's Nebraska Cooperative Development Center to both get their start and maximize their impact over time. Cindy Houlden is a Cooperative Development Specialist with NCDC, and she joins me now to talk more about the impact that cooperative businesses are having across Nebraska. Hi, Cindy. Thanks for joining me. In your article, you provide several examples of new cooperatives that have formed in the last 2 years in Nebraska, from grocery stores to real estate investment cooperatives. So what do you think is driving this increased interest in the cooperative model in the state?
First, I think you and your podcasts, just getting our word out about our office and what we do has really driven communication with us. People, hear what we do and they call and they say, hey, I've got an idea. Is this something you could work with? And of course, we're more than willing to go meet with anybody to discuss their idea and kind of decide, is the cooperative model the right model for this group to organize their business? It might not be, which is perfectly fine. We have other resources within the university we can connect them with. But if the cooperative model is the right model, then we're more than happy to help them organize.
One example you give is about a cooperative farm called Salt Slope that was formed just outside of Lincoln in 2023. Can you tell us more about that project and what makes it a good fit for a cooperative structure?
Sure. Salt Slope has just recently changed their name to Salt Creek, which, of course, those of you in the Lincoln area are familiar with Salt Creek. But basically, who Salt Creek is they are an organic no-till producer. They're a group of farmers that came together in the fall of 2021. 3 members had their first season of production in 2022, reached out to us last fall to talk about, hey, would a cooperative actually formally forming as a cooperative be something that would be good for us? And they did that through our Buy Fresh, Buy Local program. We worked with them through Buy Fresh, Buy Local last fall and into the spring. They formally organized this spring in 2023 as a cooperative. They're looking, of course, for new members. They have 3 right now, and they're hoping to welcome their 4th fairly quickly. And their primary purpose is to increase Lincoln's food sovereignty by sharing with others the joy of sustainably farmed flowers, herbs, and veggies. And the nice thing about the cooperative model is any one of these farmers probably couldn't do what they're doing on their own. I mean, the cost of the inputs, the amount of work you need to put into it. But when they come together and work together cooperatively, they can achieve amazing things. And we're just excited to see what this group of individuals do as they move forward and bring on new members. This is a first of its kind co-op for NCDC to work with. We're just excited to see the models they can create and how they can in turn encourage others to form this type of a cooperative.
You also mentioned some communities like Norfolk and Holdridge that are exploring childcare cooperatives. So what are some unique benefits that a childcare cooperative can provide compared to a standard childcare business?
Sure. I'm going to start with the Norfolk area childcare cooperative. They are officially formed and accepting children. They were formed by a group of employers in the Norfolk community that came together because they noticed their employees were having issues accessing quality, affordable childcare. And so they decided, why don't we become proactive and create a childcare? The person who's the chair of the group is Tammy Day with Daycos in Norfolk. She couldn't do it by herself with just her business. There just wasn't, again, the economies of scale that you need. You need enough parents that need childcare to make it work. So she reached out to other people within the community, started a conversation. Charlotte with our office connected with them. connected them with childcare cooperative resources that we can connect with across the nation. They formed a cooperative of, I think it's 7 or 8 businesses right now, but of course they're always welcoming more. But to meet the childcare needs of that group, and similar to Salt Creek, it's the economies. You need more than one person to form this, especially when you're smaller employers in a smaller Nebraska community. One employer can't do it because they don't have enough employees to provide the childcare that's necessary. They did form as a nonprofit cooperative, which gives them access to grants and other things that will offset some of the expenses. There's some training dollars out there through programs like C4K that they can access for their employees. But it's a great model. Again, it's a group of people coming together to work cooperatively to solve a problem, meet a need within their community. Holdridge, we're just at the beginning stages of the conversation. They're looking at similar issues there. You've got some large employers, and access to quality, affordable childcare is a challenge for any of us that are parents. We know how hard it is. And so the community's talking about, is there a way we could do shared services like group purchasing, group training, shared facilities, shared, like for lack of a better word, a substitute pool. So, I want to take a vacation. Could somebody take care of the children I care for, so that their parents don't have daycare for that period of time? But just trying to think a little bit creatively about how to meet the childcare needs in the Holdridge community.
For some rural communities, access to amenities like grocery stores is obviously vital. So how are cooperatives helping to fill that gap and provide essential services?
I kind of laugh because NCDC has been known for cooperative grocery stores. That's been what we've done for years. The last few years, I think the number is 4 that have formed in the last 2 years in Hay Springs, Emerson, Lynch, and Utica. Utica was unique because it was a transition. It was an open grocery store that transitioned from an LLC into a cooperative model. The other 3 were stores that formed as cooperatives. Each one is unique in how they're structured, how they're staffed, how they're operated, even to the type of food they offer. Hay Springs is smaller, but they've got a really great selection of food as well as local foods. Lynch is more volunteer driven with volunteer board members so that they don't have labor. Emerson has, repurposed the old armory into a grocery store, and is looking at providing some really good job opportunities in that town. Then of course Utica, with its transition, it's operating the same as it did when it was a LLC grocery store. It's just owned by more people today, and they're providing access to what their community needs. And that is the cool model with the cooperative, is when a community forms a cooperative, they get to decide what that grocery store looks like, how it operates, and what it offers, which is very different than having like a Hy-Vee or any of those chain grocery stores come into your community. They tell you what they're going to offer. With this model, we get to decide what we're going to offer and how we're going to operate.
If people want to learn more about starting a cooperative in their own community, what are some resources or next steps that you would suggest?
Well, they can go to our website, ncdc.unl.edu, connect with either Charlotte or myself. Our emails are there. Just send us a quick note. One of us is always available. We love to hop on a quick phone or Zoom chat just to talk through, and then, meet with your group and kind of start talking through, would a cooperative work? Is it something that needs some more exploration? And we've got some great tools to help people in the exploration stage. And again, we've got great resources through the university that we can bring in through Rural Prosperity Nebraska, as well as the Ag Econ department, that we can connect with you to help with that decision-making process.
That's Cindy Houlden, a Cooperative Development Specialist with the Nebraska Cooperative Development Center here at UNL. You can find an article that she has written about the impact of cooperatives across Nebraska in the description to this podcast or on our website for the Center for Ag Profitability at cap.unl.edu. It is also on the Nebraska Cooperative Development Center site where you can find out more about their work. Check that out at ncdc.unl.edu. Thanks so much, Cindy.
You are welcome.
Nebraska Farmcast is a production of the Center for Agricultural Profitability at the University of Nebraska-Lincoln. For the latest research-based information and education resources to manage your farm or ranch operation, visit our website at cap.unl.edu. That's cap.unl.edu.